trying to replicate the issue with the TR8S while having other issues with the HydroSynth. I think everything's going to have to get. What did you say? Revert it back to default or something?
No. We need to check to see if the HydroSynth needs an update. 'Cause I think that's the only machine that I didn't check.
Who's with us this lovely evening?
Sense Seeker, Cressy, Angie, Simply. Let's see who else said hello in the chat earlier. Unit E.
Yeah, I thought I saw Unit E.
Yeah. Going through the chat, making sure I didn't miss anybody. I believe that is it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Today was a good jam session on the hardware jams.
Yeah,
Luke
it
says
was.
hardware sucks, but it's also awesome. I feel for you. He also said if we're up at 11 to look for the Big Dipper.
Oh.
And the Draconode. Oh, I'm gonna butcher that for sure. Meteor shower is supposed to happen.
The Draconids, not Draconids, but
Draconid. And it's supposed to be visible to the naked eye if you're in the East Coast and you have clear skies.
Ooh.
Well, we're always up at 11.
Yeah, and I think the Perseids already passed.
Yeah, the Perseids were earlier.
Draconis constellation. Just above it.
Dope. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah. And it's cool out, so the mosquitoes won't be out.
Yeah.
Yeah, biting at us.
Yeah, hardware jams was amazing today.
Yeah, everybody did good.
I just don't see how they pick winners. Like,
Well, it's the voters.
everyone's imagination was so big and bright.
It's the people who vote.
Yeah.
So if you love a certain person, make sure you go and vote for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
I think I casted like 8 votes.
I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to get in there and vote.
Yeah, I went in there, hurried up and vote. If you guys don't have the link, it's on our community tab. I put it on there with a link to our video if you didn't get a chance to hear it.
Our moderator's missing in action.
Yeah, she's been really busy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with her SARS folks. They've been doing a lot of volunteer work for the people in Florida.
Oh,
okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Search and rescue stuff. Yeah, she's
she's down in Florida?
No.
No.
Just
okay.
organizing
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
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 Let's thank Sarah for what she does. She does the search and rescue, and she's helping the victims down from this recent hurricane that affected multiple states and floodings and loss of towns and cities.
And loss of a lot of lives.
Yeah, they're supposed to have another one hit them.
Yeah, and they're still finding people down there that family members are looking for.
Yeah.
And they'll never get answers.
No, Cressy said he's going to rewatch the stream and vote tomorrow. Cressy, why do you even have to rewatch it? Just vote for us. Duh.
It was good. Like so many people. I had to go back when it ended just so I can look at.
You know who really impressed me?
A few jams we missed, huh?
Travis.
Yeah, Travis
he
did
changed
great.
a lot of people. I was just going to say a lot of people changed it up. Grace went smooth with it.
Yeah.
Cornish is a no-brainer.
Right.
Cornish impressed me. I feel like
really good.
He did like 500 more steps this time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think the
did.
steps is what makes him better.
Yeah.
The more steps he gets
Yeah.
in.
And I think he's doing it intentionally now because he knows we're going to make fun of him.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as he gives me the hang 10 at the end of it, I'm good with it.
Right?
He called me his groupie today. I'm not too proud or ashamed to accept that.
No.
Yes, Lou. Travis was very different this week.
Very.
Yeah. I said in the chat, he should have had a video of himself just brushing his hair.
I think his hair is
really,
what?
Something subtle.
Yeah.
His hair made the sound.
If it can't blow with the sound, brush it with that
just
sound.
Brush it.
That seemed like a brushable moment.
He just sat there. He's like, I'm not going to touch anything. And his hair said, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They're going to listen to me play.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the sound of Travis.
Who was the other one? Who was the guy that had the sunrise coming up? That was fucking brilliant.
Ooh, I don't.
Oh,
And the sound was so
yes.
rich
I know
and
who
dark, and
I know who you're talking about. Oh gosh.
I thought to myself, I said, no.
He was at a beach.
Yeah. I said to myself, no, this is actually the sound the sun makes.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think.
Was it Attic P?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Attic P. Yeah, because there was somebody in the chat. It was me, Biscuit Moon, and then another individual just waiting for the stream, and they were like, I sneak peeked, like listening to like other people's stuff. They're like, I'm really here for Attic P, but everybody else's stuff is really cool. Luke says, I wouldn't vote for anybody who goes 1 second over 5 minutes. Follow the rules, bitches.
Yeah. Well, I think we were 5 seconds over.
No, I think we were pretty.
I think.
Pretty
I don't
Ooh,
know.
a 5:05, huh?
Yeah.
I think we were spot on.
5 minutes and 5 seconds.
That would have been nice.
How come this isn't working again? It's always something.
What's not working?
My standby stuff isn't playing anymore.
Yeah. As the day goes, Daryl,
It's always something.
and
tomorrow it'll work.
yeah, but something over here would go conk.
Yeah. Well, that's.
It never does it when the cameras are off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just hard to get it to do its thing. I'm glad I'm just a 2-item show.
That's so frustrating.
Yeah, but give it a minute.
I know
Is the
that thing has a
cable
problem with turning
disconnected?
off sometimes.
I mean, I'm an optimist, but I'm really a realist too.
Yeah. What's going on over there, Matt?
She can't get the standby music to play.
Oh,
It's
That's
been the
weird.
story of our lives.
Yeah.
yeah.
Day 90.
Day 90. How
This
about
is-
that? 90 days in.
90 days straight. This is what happens.
You run your instruments through their paces when you do every day.
Yes.
You find out what goes bad really fucking quick.
Well, also, we're here for an hour or so before we even go live.
So everything is still nice and heated up.
Yeah. And then sometimes an hour or so after we're live,
Right.
just trying to hone in on the sound.
Oh, Synth Addict joined us in today. He just hopped into the chat and said, hey,
sweet.
nice hardware jams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
likewise.
Synth-
Back at you.
Synth Addict
Way to always
closes the
close
jam.
it out,
I'm starting to
man.
think now he does it intentionally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Because he knows he's good at it.
I put in there, I'm an addict because of the sound right now.
I
Yeah.
was just going to say that. I think maybe he knows something that we don't know.
Right.
He's like, okay, I think everybody's got their shit in. Here goes nothing.
I'm going to close the damn show.
30 seconds till upload it. I'm going in now.
Right.
Go now.
And it's always a good closing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So we had an interesting day right when hardware jam started. You want to tell a story?
I mean, we could. We could just share it. It'll probably give you guys a feeling on why we probably seem like we're off.
Synthetic said, nah, I'm just a slacker.
Yeah. Shit. We all are slackers at this point.
I'd use that excuse too.
That's hilarious.
So we're coming home for our. We normally go on Wednesdays to this place called Costco out here in the States. It's a big old shopping plaza where you get things in bulk.
For the UK people that don't know what it is.
Yeah. So we're on our way back from Costco, and my brother, we're listening to hardware jams on the road. We got 30-minute travel time, and he notices one of those trike bikes pass us in front of us, and we're just cruising along the highway. And out of the blue, I see a tire from a semi truck on the opposite side of the highway jump the medium, and that bike took the brunt of that tire. So the the rider does this somersault and goes head first into the wire barricade. And I watched as this rider tumbled and pretty much just died right in front of us. My brother noticed the bike off to the side and said that was the bike that just passed us. So we immediately pulled over. You guys know our background, prior law enforcement, prior medics. And
Some of them may not know.
And well, you guys know now.
Yeah.
So we get out and we run and we go to rush aid to that motorist. By the time we get there, I can already see that.
It's an obvious DOA.
Yeah, it's obviously dead on arrival.
Thank you.
And then so the person is laying down face first, and she come to find out is wearing one of those skull cap helmets, which means it's not a full face enclosed helmet.
She had a visor.
Yeah, but that shattered. And all I could see was just, brain and meaty tissue inside the helmet. So I already knew that the person was already gone.
And you couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman because
at the time
the person was so badly disfigured on the face. And, it was just the face that was disfigured. But how I could see it summing up, that person must have went through the metal wiring and at least broke her neck.
Yeah, on impact. When I saw her make contact with that,
right.
When I saw the body flip over the wire, I knew.
I saw her pupils, what was left of her eyes were highly unequal. So I was like, oh, yeah, this is like.
Or the tire when it hit her could have broken her neck.
Oh, or the tire could have broken her nose.
Yeah, because I don't know where exactly the tire hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely the most of the trauma was on the face. And I could tell there wasn't a whole lot of blunt trauma on the chest because I was, and my brother can hear him, I was literally cracking her ribs on CPR. So, I mean, if that was hit first, I would not be cracking through. I would just be cardiac massaging right off the bat.
Exactly.
You know? So, but Lamar said she was still warm and felt the pulse.
Well, she was only warm because she was freshly.
I know, but he felt the pulse. But
the only pulse I was getting was artificial pulse from his chest compressions. So each time he would squeeze the heart, I would get an artificial bump in her pulse. So, but I could tell there was no one home.
It could have just as very well have been that tired.
Yeah,
right.
Well, everybody was standing around. We were asking, this one guy came out with a medical bag, and my brother asked, okay, since you're failing to act, do you have gloves at least? So while I'm talking to dispatch and telling everybody to slow down, there's no need to break their necks to get there. He's already at least rolling this person over, knowing that person is no longer with us, just to start CPR to make like somebody's putting out some sort of effort to save this individual's life. So we do that for about 15 minutes until we get any assistance. And he does CPR for about 10 minutes by himself until somebody relieves him. And then ultimately they put a AED on her. And I remember this vividly, as the AED is going off, I'm the only one paying attention to the AED. And the lady is saying, stay clear of the body. Well, they're all over her, touching her and frantic. So I had to yell at everybody, stay clear of the body. Is everybody clear? And they're all like, oh, yeah. And so the shock goes, and then they go back to CPR.
So what is that? What
AED is an automated external defibrillator. It's made to re-jump the heart. It's an electric jewels that's sent to the cardiac. So it gets you back up and going. And ideally, and if you're touching it, it can shock you and it can also kill you.
It could drop you. It could send you into AFib
really quickly.
Yeah. Simply, if you're in the comments, you can
better explain it.
You can explain it if you feel like it. But
so after all that ordeal, we left our statements. I always travel with a dash cam by Garmin, and I happened to capture the whole video. So I was at least able to give them a recording. It's almost like when I'm watching this and I play it back, it's almost as if the universe took this lady right at the time she needed to go, because it just seemed like it was too good to be true how it all landed.
Right.
if we were in front of her, our truck would have taken the brunt of that tire easily because I have a cattle guard on my truck. And I think about that. If she had not passed us, she would have been okay.
Right. She would have
well,
been.
there was a car in front of you, if I
Right.
remember
That
seeing.
car,
So that car
yeah,
would have
that
taken
car
it.
would have
Yeah,
taken
that car
it.
could, if she had been
And that
behind
was
that
a
car.
small car.
Right. Yeah, if she had
Right.
been behind that car, she would have survived. But that's
Yeah.
that just goes to show when it's your time, it just seemed like it was literally her time. And why my brother and I had to witness this on this day and do what we had to do when normally we go to our shopping on Wednesdays, and that could have easily been us in front of her.
Kind of wish it was us in front of her. 'Cause
Right.
we would have took that tire a hell of a lot better than
She did.
she did.
Yeah, I would have had to get a new
Yeah, but the
windshield, but
That's better
You
than
know-
a life.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the universe didn't have that in,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
store.
You know, I swear she passed us. I swear I looked up and saw her look at me as she maneuvered over a little bit. I swear we passed her.
right.
You know, but yeah, and Simply Risky is he's also been in the medical field and former law enforcement. He knows what 10 minutes of CPR and adrenaline does to a person.
Hell, some of you might know if you had to render aid.
If you had to render aid, by the time it was all said and done, him and I we had to write reports. We had to recall things. And then by the time I got home, showered while listening to hardware jams, like nothing was going to interrupt that at all. So we missed a few jams. That sucks. So we have to go back like Cressy and watch some. And then just before the show, I was telling Lamar after the hardware jams was over, because you're still riding the high, everybody's jamming. I just got a wicked adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that is, that's when everything goes back to balance, you really find out like how much energy you exerted. And I strained my neck for pumping on that woman's chest for 10 minutes. And the funny thing is, when you stop compressions and you let someone else in, two things happen. The heart stops, and then the next person that comes in takes a few seconds, and then that person may not pump on that chest the same way you were and the same way you were trained. And I watched this individual, I'm not going to say who it was or burn a name, just wasn't doing it efficiently enough to cause any effect, you know? So even with a DOA, there's always that miracle that happens. You know what I mean? You've done enough, so when advanced care gets there, they can do what they need to do, and they may win the fight because it wasn't that person who just wasn't laying there dead the whole time.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah, Cynthia asked a great question in the chat right now. And it's probably the reason why they're talking about it now, because it does help. He said, how do you guys cope with that? I haven't seen trauma in real life. I have a coping mechanism for emotional trauma, but I've never had to apply it to physical. Is it hard to let go?
Well, right now, okay, here's...
I'll let you.
Or if you want to go first, you can.
For all the shit that I've seen, I don't know if it's just the chemical makeup with the individual, but my years in EMS and law enforcement, I can tell you I've seen a lot of horrendous, horrible things, from double homicides to people hanging themselves off of motel beds. And just don't even ask me how that's possible. I don't know how. I just really don't. It just has to go back to the individual. I've seen rookies come on an ambulance and they see their first trauma and their brains just can't process it. They can't unsee it. They can't react, and they ultimately just end up quitting and leaving because that trauma, just watching another person's body in such dismemberment, it leaves you just at awe. And if you're not ready for it, and here's the sad part, you'll never know if you're ready for it until you see it.
Yeah.
And then you can process it. My brother and I and Trayvon and other people have been blessed.
That's simply risky in the chats.
Yeah, my wife has been blessed. We've all, because she's in the medical field, we've all been blessed to whatever chemical makeup that lets our brains throw everything, compartmentalizes everything into the subconscious. It's events like this where sometimes I sit and reflect and it all comes back. And I'm just hammered with all the bullshit that I've seen. It never really goes away. It just, we just have the ability to disassociate with it. And as Marelyn would say, maybe because it is not someone of our family that we readily know.
Right.
But it still fucks with you. Either way, it's trauma is trauma. And there's no way to really deal with it is unless you speak to somebody and just talk about it.
Or you do this. Yeah. You do this right
talk
here.
about it.
And you don't stow it.
You have to decompress.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't put things away. But there have been studies that ponder the same question, like how can some people easily just be so not phased by it? Like the forensic processors that go to the scene
and morticians
and process, those fields, like the double homicides, the people who hang themselves in the hotels. Like how can you do that? And there's been studies that study the brain, like, okay, well, how do you do this? And it comes down to that emotional connection. They can tuck it away, or it doesn't even phase them because there's something in the brain that doesn't trigger because there's no emotional connection to that individual. Now, if this individual sees that same thing, but it's now a loved one, it's a completely different story. Because now there's an emotional connection.
You may fail to act because the emotion may get over you.
Which is the reason why you are not allowed to do any sort of life-saving surgery and things like that
on a loved one,
on a family member.
Yeah. But every victim that I've seen, I've had this great tie to them, like emotionally. Like it was just hard. I didn't know them, but I felt like emotionally tied to these people.
Yeah, you lose something.
You lose a big part of you, but you're able to stow it.
Yeah.
But the loss is always like, oh wow, this person is dead. No matter how you slice it, you just react. It's just human to react that way.
Right.
I don't see no other way of reacting.
And for me, like, if I answer the question, for me it was I'm just numb to it.
I use those words today, but
it's a reason why Simply Risky, my brother and I got out of that business. I think we've gotten too numb to it, and we started. It's funny when you start making jokes about it, and you like, let's go get something to eat, and you just totally dust it away.
And that's the way of decompressing.
So I don't know if rolling that individual over, I just knew what I was going to see underneath the helmet, but, and I just told myself, well, this is going to be another one. Cause when I was in EMS, my partner, Bob Lucas, we had the same thing happen to us, but luckily we were in our ambulance when that happened. And, so it made me feel like we could do a hell of a lot more. But rolling that person over and just only being able to do CPR without an OP kit or a bag vial, it sucked. I even thought like, man, if I had a knife and a straw, we can intubate this person and get an airway. So all those things were running through my head as I'm doing compressions. But the one thing that really got me was when help got there and relieved us, I told my brother, come on, man, we don't have to do this anymore. Let's go fill out a report, because there were like 10 people that showed up and that saw this. I know they saw this. And they all left, and I know why they left.
Right.
They didn't want to do the paperwork. They didn't want to be questioned, and they didn't want to be bothered. Or they didn't want,
well, the lady that I talked to dispatch with, she had scrubs on.
Yeah.
I took the phone and I talked to dispatch. I just said, slow everybody down. There's no need, DOA. And when you rolled the body over, the look on her face, she damn near lost her mind.
Right.
I gave her phone back and I said, you just need to go.
Yeah.
Just get in your car. Thank you for your assistance and go.
Yeah.
And she just kept saying, is that person dead? Is that person dead? And I was just like, oh my God, this is the last thing that I need is this woman freaking out.
Right.
Like, get to your car safely. Like, just, you need to go.
Yeah.
Thank you for the phone call.
Right. But the other thing that I found concerning was when we went to go fill out the paperwork, the truck driver who was driving the southbound lane, whose tire came off the truck, approached the sergeant, which was a female cop. And he approached me first and he said, "Oh my God, was that a man? Is he dead? Did I kill him?" And I said, "You did not." First off, it's a woman, and you did not kill that woman. It was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're not going to understand that right now because your mind is completely not there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an accident. And then the sergeant came over and she took him and said, "You need to relax. This is not your fault. There's nothing that's going to happen to you." And he was saying, "My wife is on her way, and I hope I didn't kill that woman." And he was mentally, I could tell he was gone. There was no talking to that dude whatsoever. So when Synth Addict asked us that question,
he was probably in shock.
He was in shock.
Yeah.
So when Synth Addict asked us that question to us, the only thing I felt bad for was the woman that lost her life and the guy whose rig lost a tire to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing. There's a possible chance we know this woman,
Mm-hmm.
my wife and I. We think she's the woman that is a clerk at the local Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
She has the exact same bike. She has the exact same build.
Yeah.
Fit the age appropriate.
Yeah. As soon as you called me and told me the story and everything, I'm like,
Right.
oh, geez.
And now that I remember what was left of her face, could probably be her.
Right.
And she was fairly tall because she was almost as tall as you.
If I laid down next to her, she would be about 2 inches, 3 inches shorter than me.
And that's how.
And she was real, very obese,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it just, now that I think about it, it could have been her. And I hope not.
And it's so
Right.
fortunate that I have my dash cam and that guy getting out thinking it was his fault. Well, I have proof that the tire came across.
Right.
You know, it's not that he even needs it. Anybody can figure it out. But the fact that we got it on camera, everything's just, it's too good to be true at this point.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is we lost 2 people this year. My brother said, we just lost 2 people. And why the universe would see it fit for this woman to have her last breath and for us to render aid for her. A lot of people don't know this. My twin brother had a near-death experience. A lot of you do know this. And the first thing I asked him when we were clear from that call, like, here we go, we were cleared from the call.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't our call.
Right.
But the first thing I asked him, I said, what? I said, do you think she was watching us do compressions
And I
on
was
her?
like, oh yeah, every bit of her was there. She may not have been there long, but you can feel their presence there. She was looking at her body
Right.
before she went.
Yeah. And, as you do compressions, you can't help but to look at the open fixtures, one, because you don't want spray back, but 2, it's just a habit to look into a person's eyes to see if you're getting any kind of response,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the longer I looked, the longer I thought to myself, shit.
And it never gets easier. Like, my hands were still shaking when we got here.
Right.
Like,
I couldn't even write on that paper. You were like, your handwriting looked ridiculous. And my hands would not stop shaking. I was fucking out of
right.
breath, sweating.
My
Oh,
adrenaline
yeah, I
was just
bet.
taking over. I don't even know how I was formulating sentences. I don't even think I put one period. I think I was just writing.
You know what? I got to say this. Kudos to the medics that showed up.
Yeah.
They spent at least 15 minutes trying to get that woman.
Yeah.
15 minutes. I want them on the scene if something happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't give up.
They did not give
They
up.
saw that it was, but they still did the procedure. But a lot of that too is everything is video recorded. They just can't show up and go, oh, obviously DOA, who wants to call it? You still have to run your paces because there is that miracle that you can at least get some sort of
There's always
heart
a
rate.
miracle. There's always a miracle. That person who went down on the bike with me and my old partner, which was on my last day before I called it quits with Lynch Ambulance. Lucas and I used every bit of our EMT skills, every goodie in the bag, because it took the paramedics forever to get there. And it was Lucas only like second time using an OP kit, you know, and we were bagging them and we were hitting him so hard, blood was coming out of this guy's foot.
Yeah.
And you would think he was dead, right? The next day we go back to Long Beach Memorial. The guy is in ICU alive. And he was alive for at least a week that we heard. And he was able to say goodbye to his parents, his girlfriend, and his sister before he passed. He was physically able to say goodbye.
right.
That was a job well done for him and I, you know? And so that could have very well happened. And he was worse off than her. Worse off. But because of the facial blunt trauma, I would really think, like the wife said, it was probably better she passed away. Because to try to reconstruct that.
Well, not only the reconstruction, but the pain.
The pain. Yeah. She would have to
the
be.
recovery
It would have to be a
aspect of it
coma.
all.
It would have to be an induced coma.
Yeah. The recovery afterwards of everything,
Yeah.
the pain of it all would have been just, and given her age and her weight, it just would have been so painful.
That poor woman.
Yeah.
I took her all the way home. It was hard to watch Hardware Jams. I tried to get past it, but
I know.
I took her all the way home with me.
Oh yeah, of
And
course.
even
There's no way you can.
You can't. And even playing, I'm just like, I'm really not into this today. I'm trying like to decompress and find an outlet. But when it like, it just built up today. Like today has been a fucking day.
I remember while I was doing compressions, I was like, okay, I broke through the sternum. Okay, I broke 4 ribs. Risky if you want to explain that. But I was like, I broke 4 ribs. Easy. And I was like looking at Lamar with excitement. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this might be good. You know, we might be able to hang in there and she might be able to at least get back bumping again, you know? And
since then, he commented earlier, said, "You have another twin brother?" Just kidding. 'Cause you had said something. And then he just said, well, you did make a bubble joke, Lamont.
Yeah.
You were into that.
Bubbles.
you know I'm into bubbles.
Synthetic said, my ass is glad you had the strength for that at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Or Sin Seeker, sorry, not Synthetic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was unfortunate, but
Yeah.
the shit happens. So 2024 has been just a peachy year, I guess.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways, I guess we could, I don't know, get back to some music or talk about something else.
Normally when we come off of a Hardware Jam Monday, we play the jam that we,
Yeah.
performed.
That might be a nice little soothing thing to play.
I've been wanting to use this damn drum too.
Play that.
You want to do some more of this reggae feel? Or?
Yeah, I could do whatever, man. I'm just going to work through it. We'll power through this shit.
I think if we do the jam we did today, we could send that lady off with a nice little, you know?
Yeah, little farewell.
Since that, unless Cressy vetoes it.
Yeah, well, and then you have that.
I don't think Cressy's going to veto it this time.
Can you see why this doesn't have power?
Is it that dang switcher on the bottom?
No, it's in the lantern there. I think one of the buttons aren't pushed.
Lamar,
What?
he's talking to you.
What's that?
Can you see why this doesn't have power? It's going to be right here somewhere. Is it a USB? Yeah. Yeah, that thing is still flashing too. Oh, wait, hold on. Is that it? No, it's still off. Okay, we're going to have to replace that. That's probably why I had some MIDI issues, because that's tied into the MIDI too.
Mm-hmm. Is there a different USB?
I don't know if it'll reach all the way over here. We're not doing any vocals right now, and I have you dubbed in, so
Yeah.
that can wait till later. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even worry your little brain about it.
Maybe I should get another one of those plug things, babe.
The tower
The
might be
tower?
fried. It saved all of the equipment.
Yeah. As it should have done. That I'm going to put on our affiliate page because that was the best thing we could have bought. Mm-hmm. It saved quite the pricey bits of machine over there. We had a really bad surge yesterday, and this power tower that we have over here literally saved our machinery. Oh, Cressy gave the go-ahead to play it.
Ah, thank you, Cressy.
It's our I'll put the link in the chat. Synth. We have two or three of those tower things right now. Two? We have two of these towers. I think I have a different version of it in the office in the house.
And it lasts me 6 years because I had these in Washington State.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, it covers how much worth of your... It had different tiers, 5,000 to 10,000.
Yeah.
Worth.
I forget, but I think it was up to 5,000.
Up to 5,000. Yeah, you register it and it covers 5,000. If there's a surge and it messes up your equipment, I'll put the link in the chat.
If we only had more than 5 minutes to get that across.
Yes. Kill that white noise, Mads, please.
I got it. Oh, or you got it.
Yes.
Okay. It's time to go and think about some things right now. Here's the question. You have a one-way ticket to Mars. It's a total of 3 people, you included. You can only bring one album. Take in mind, this is a 6-month trip to get to Mars. What album do you bring? I'll be waiting.
Is it just me on the trip?
I just said it's 3 people. You
3 people, okay.
You included.
Are all 3 people bringing an album?
Yes.
Album or
all,
just
all 3 have a selection.
Okay,
yes, but
so-
you don't determine what they're bringing.
Obviously.
This is about you.
Obviously.
Okay.
I'm just hoping.
Don't give me any bullshit, Luke.
I'm just hoping these 3 people have some like great taste in music. But let's see here. Jesus. One album, huh?
One album, 6-month trip to Mars, which probably means you're not coming back. What album do you take? I know which one I'm taking right off the bat.
I got one.
He said, I already know.
I already know.
I guess I got one. Not a guess. I have one for sure because I know it'll keep me in the zone.
Oh, that was rude of me. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
why would you do that in the mic?
I don't know.
I burp in the mic. Who gives
Yeah.
a shit?
So way better than burping in the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, getting your face blown off in an accident.
No, I didn't do that.
No. Of course you did. You were home.
Mm-hmm.
You let your husband deal with shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you weren't there to see it. I'm glad
my kids weren't there to see it.
'cause we had just dropped his kids off too.
Don't ask questions. Just answer the question.
Who's that? Luke. Luke's asking fucking questions.
No.
Who?
No, I'm not going to tell you until they
Okay.
answer the question.
Come on, Cress. You should have this one album. Simply, Angie.
Can I answer since you guys are taking
Yeah,
forever?
go ahead.
Oh, I have
Go
my
ahead.
answer.
I
I
Okay,
have
go
mine
ahead.
too.
No, I'm just waiting.
Okay.
No. Why
I
are
can
you
go
waiting?
first.
Go ahead.
You want to go?
Yeah, Graceland by Paul Simon.
Graceland by Paul Simon.
Okay. What about you?
Dave Matthews, Before These Crowded Streets.
Unity says Natural Born Killer soundtrack.
Ooh, Unit E been dipping in the dark sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to create my own album.
You're going to create your own album?
Mm-hmm. Double-sided.
Mm-hmm.
16 songs on each side.
What songs are they?
I don't know yet.
Then that's not fair.
Yeah, why not?
Because everybody's coming clean and correct on
You
what
didn't
they want.
specify any rules.
No more questions for you.
Exactly.
God damn it.
See, you have to be specific. And Cressy said greatest hits, which is basically the same thing.
Greatest hits?
Yeah.
What genre?
Greatest hits gives you
Is it like all
great-
genres? Like, come on, like, what is this? 16 songs of all genres in the 80s, 90s?
greatest hits are usually what, 24, 28 songs, aren't they?
Depending on who the
Yeah.
artist is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's variety.
Luke said Bad Out of Hell, Meatloaf. Oh, that's a good one.
Damn, he went with Meatloaf.
That one's really good. Mm-hmm. Risky said Bar Marley's greatest hits.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
that's a good one. He want to be at peace in mind.
The greatest hits option is like
Covers
Yeah.
everything.
the best. So I'm
And
going
you're
to
looking
create
for more songs.
my own greatest hits.
Yeah, you're looking for more songs from the artist.
Thankfully, Graceland has a lot of songs.
And thankfully, Dave Matthews, Before These Crowded Streets, was a ridiculous album.
Yeah.
And it has a little bit of everything you would want to hear in music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll take
Sarah says, I like mixes, but we
Sarah.
listened to one Dispatch CD a whole summer. That was fun. She came in when you guys were jamming.
Oh, okay. It's good to see you, my lady.
Good to see you.
Thank you for all
what
the
you
good
do.
work you're doing out there.
Yes, yes.
Kisses on both cheeks and a pinch of the booty. Maybe not the pinch of the booty. It's a little too far, but kiss on both cheeks.
This thing isn't. There's always something, huh? That's just not gonna work.
It's one of those days, Daryl. It's just been creepy, right?
It's not playing what I'm telling it to play.
Yeah. Hell, Daryl. When in doubt,
A big ass cookie.
I was going to say that. Let's go get a big ass cookie. That's all the answers we got, huh?
So far, Sarah said she missed us.
Hey. It's really a hard question to answer.
Recon's in the house. I don't know if I told you.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
Recon's name.
Recon.
Thank you for showing up, good sir.
Recon, I'm interested. Recon, what album would you take?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what does Recon take for a 6-month journey to Mars? That's such a
I
long
know.
journey.
If you think that question was difficult, wait till you hear the other one.
I just really hope the people on board with us have just something I can vibe with.
Yeah.
And if you don't vibe with it, you will have to endure it for 6 months.
You'll be looking forward to hearing something different, I bet.
To me, my weakness, my kryptonite is something like John Denver. I would just lose it if somebody brought
You want me to take care of that for you?
classic
You're gonna have to
hits
like
of
turn
John Denver.
it off and turn it back on, or we're just gonna have to call it a day and just leave it off because it's not cooperating. Luke says, I understand what you're asking, but honestly, I know myself. And if I hear the same album more than a few days in a row, the hedonic fatigue makes me tired of it. So why kill an album?
Ooh, well.
So you'll just so
what's
I guess
your option?
in that case, don't bring an album and just listen to everybody else's stuff.
Yeah. Let that kill you.
When you're dealing with NASA, you're dealing with weight and pretty concise things. So
Yeah, but digitally, you can.
I guess you could have a thumb drive,
Yeah.
but that's not the. See, and I knew Luke was going to do this.
Oh, Recon said Tool, Anemia.
Oh,
yeah.
shit! That's back in the '90s.
Bro, I like Tool.
Isn't that the '90s?
I think so.
It's the '90s. Okay, here's the next one. Is
Early
everybody
2000s.
ready?
Yep.
Everything's in.
Luke said, anything I take tomorrow, I'll end up hating and never want to hear it again.
Okay, I got a
Jeez.
question. It's not for Luke. Luke doesn't play games with us.
Luke doesn't play well.
He doesn't.
He
He's
doesn't.
not a cutler. Okay, so it's the end of the world. You've been mailed a letter. You can only invite 4 people to said secure bunker in your area. No more than 4.
Is your family already included?
This is just the individual. Who do you take?
On the album thing, Cressy said, Closer, Joe Division.
Okay, Cressy, you have to help us here. Clearly, your mind is filled with achievers that's beyond our knowledge and will forever be beyond our knowledge. Our novice, as Luke would say, our novice minds can only handle so much.
Mm-hmm.
Who in the hell is that? So we can look them up and figure out why you're saying this.
Sarah said, she pleads the 5th. 1/3 of her children are listening.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
If the family's not included, I'm not going to play
Okay,
that game.
but I guess the letter is just, it's random and it is what it is. I didn't say this is going to be easy.
So it's you, and you can only bring what?
4 additional people. Who do you bring?
So not including yourself.
No, including yourself, but you can bring 4 additional people.
Okay, not
including yourself,
okay.
yes,
So it's
yes.
4 plus you is 5. So
Right.
5 total people.
5 total people.
Oh, okay.
And
So-
I guess this question is really geared to people who understand where they are in their friendship and family morals.
Yeah, I'm out of this one.
Well, I guess if you get a letter, then I get a letter, and so gets a letter, right? Everybody's going to get a letter, right? So if I get 4 people, then you get 4 people, right? And then so can get 4 people.
But these are random letters. So this is a big if.
Oh, so it's a
Yeah.
random letter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Chris had said a Massachusetts band, Joe Division, then went on to become New Order.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So that's who he would take.
Yeah.
I just like how nobody's taking none of their own shit.
Yeah.
Well, because you can just play that in your head. You
Yeah.
know what your shit sounds
Doesn't
like,
have
right?
the same weight, not to me. I got to hear my bass.
Sarah said, I got 3 kids and a mom and a dad, so I guess I'm going down with the ship. I couldn't leave them all.
Yeah, I'm
So,
with Sarah. I'm just like, fuck the bunker.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere because these are the answers that people were coming up with.
Yeah.
There was even an answer was, I relinquished my ticket for someone else and the other 4 individuals. There were other answers like, I'm not going. If it's the end of the world, I'm seeing it out the way I'm going to see it out. I'm not hiding anywhere. It's a psychological question,
Yeah.
you know? And some people really get involved with it and, oh, it's me, it's my wife, and I'll decide which 2 kids are the youngest and they're coming,
You pick the one with the least potential and you make do.
right? You really get to see the person's psyche, though.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Least potential or the most potential? Because then you would want to
No, you leave the one behind with the one with the least potential. You'll leave. him
Oh, I
behind.
thought you
Yeah,
said take the one with the least potential. I'm like, that's going to
Yeah.
serve you no good.
It's like if you're on an airplane.
I've always
you got
thought
two
that was-
boys, and
yeah.
you got to put a life jacket. You only have one. You put the one on with the least potential. It doesn't get a life jacket.
But I always thought that was it was a real thought-provoking thing to think about, you know? Like, what would you do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't honestly know until that thing came into play.
Luke says the only person I could be in a bunker with is my wife. She's the only one with whom I am completely comfortable with. We have a total share personal space. She is the only one I can share a space.
So what would you do with the remaining tickets? That's the thing. Do you give them off to a neighbor and let them decide?
But that's the problem though when you have kids and you have siblings and like I get where Luke's coming from. I would like to think that everybody is gonna probably take their wives. Like that's your base.
Not really.
But
Not
some people who
everybody.
are in a fake relationship
Yeah.
and they got that artificial love
Yeah,
going.
yeah, then that's something else.
He or she's probably like, you know what? Now it's my
Yeah.
time to finally get rid of this bitch. I'm gonna take my best friend Steve and my two boys.
Yeah.
Or something like that,
I think and I don't want to speak for you, but at the age we are now, I literally think we've accomplished the things we set out. Anything more is a bonus. I would probably relinquish the tickets to someone else. And if I know there's a chance that my wife and I will go together, oh, what better fucking glorious death, you know?
Yeah.
That death would be fucking glorious.
Oh, yeah. Like the Titanic.
In my mind, why die alone? You know, one of us is going to go first,
Yeah.
and one of us is going to have to grieve over it. But if you're telling me the end of the world is coming and there's a bunker, well, that still gives me the outcome I'm not fancy of.
Right.
So why don't I just enjoy my last time or
and-
last days with my loved ones?
And the bunker, in all honesty, is just a temporary solution. It's just a waste of. You're just prolonging something that is inevitable. And if the world's come to that sort of conclusion, you're only buying yourself maybe 2-3 years max before your resources are done. Or you go stir crazy and people start killing each other. Because if you can't topside or surface, if the earth is in that bad of disarray, it's going to be years before you can go outside.
Right.
And who's that prepared?
Right.
Cressy said, I'd take my cat and 2 crows I feed.
Oh, shit.
He's creating Noah's Ark.
Yeah, he
It
is.
is.
Cressy said, I'm not tied to any of you bastards. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
I'm sure they would already have tons of animals. I mean, if the world's coming to an end, you would think they've already figured this out and they have an underground ark. But how interesting is that if you can just immediately think of your animal and 2 crows, which crows and ravens are very brilliant because they can look you in your iris and remember who you are. And
Scary birds.
if you do anything negative to a crow or a raven, they remember. But if you're nice to them, they will be your buddy for life. They will remember your face.
Risky said, what's going on? Where are these tickets to? Had a truck full of yelling ass kids. With that being said, they're not coming.
Oh, I've supported you long enough.
Sarah said, you're a savage.
Yeah. You've got your free ticket long enough. I guess.
It's an interesting thing if you guys really think about it. You know, it's...
Luke said, man, I cannot stop the uncontrollable yawning.
Yeah.
It is just
Yes.
insane.
It's because you're senile already, and it's understandable
man,
for
I wonder
an
if-
old woman.
Your adrenaline dump is contagious.
It's got to be.
You know,
gotta be.
well, no, I truly bbelieve we're very tethered, extremely tethered,
For real.
and I can
Feel the anxiety.
Yes, and I can feel the drain. It's draining me. Let's see. Luke had a backup to what he was saying. He said, when anyone else touches me, my tension increases. When she touches me, she being his wife, my tension drains. Not even my parents have that effect on me. Not even my mother now. Once perhaps, but not as an adult.
Yeah.
I could not have anyone else in the bunker with me. It would end badly. Pretty sure.
Cressy.
Yeah, so we just won't send him a ticket.
We won't.
Yeah.
And he may not get that in the mail. But
Yeah.
Cressy, what was Inky like? You guys were like separated by 100 miles, dude. What was her effect on you? How did you know Inky was going to be your girlfriend? That's interesting right there.
I know
Because when I listen to Inky stuff and I listen to Crest stuff, you can hear a match there. And you know they say the perfect match isn't finding things that are similar. It's finding the things that are more or less likely to be almost opposite. So the relationship is never boring. This is always something to be had and always a mountain to climb.
I know when I go on location for work, that separation is just draining on the both of us.
For 2 months at a time, 3 months at a time.
It's such an emotional drain.
And you know what it is? It's separation anxiety. You've been through it. I know you've been through it.
What do you mean, been through it?
Still going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gracie said, she chased me down. She said she had a crush on me, liked my voice.
Damn. See, that voice is nice, though.
She makes me happy.
Summer. Oh, take my hand in the summertime.
What's the cowboy one?
Is that what got her? Oh, yippee-yi.
Kick up the dust and what was it? Oh
leave,
my God.
leave the dust behind.
Yeah.
Yippee-yi.
Risky has a interesting question, or was it Risky? No, sorry. Luke has an interesting question. He says, here's a question. If you could save the life of someone in history who died young, who would you save? Not bring them to our time, but allow them to keep living in their time.
A young individual, huh?
I would save nobody because that's the reason why they became idols, because they left something behind that changed people.
Oh, man. I sure would like to bring back Buddy Holly.
Ooh.
This may not resonate with certain people, but I'm going to say it.
Uh-oh.
You remember the little girl on a poltergeist?
Oh, yes.
She died very early. Such a phenomenal acting skill as a kid. And that's probably who I would go and save. I've always thought about her death as a kid and as an adult. It's very strange that I've always kept that in my mind, and I could pinpoint that every time.
Yeah. I wonder how old she was.
She was so young. I think she died shortly after the
movie?
second film. Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, I'm kind of with my brother too. Like if you go back and you start fandangling things, maybe we're not here today.
Well, I mean, I think this was just a hypothetical, like, you know,
Right.
like your question. So
Yeah, that's who it would be. It would be that young actress from the Poltergeist. Poltergeist.
that was a pretty interesting question. Sarah says, I thought Nikola Tesla, but he
died old, didn't he?
He did die old, yeah. But he had so much more to do. Yeah, he was interesting. He was very interesting.
That's a good question.
That was a very good
But
question.
it's funny. I had an answer, and I had already had something that was with me for years. And I could go to that so quickly.
Yeah, the actress.
Right?
I would have thought you, being the history buff, would have
Thought of something else.
picked somebody in history.
Yeah.
Somebody who was, like a
Well,
Albert Einstein type.
I mean, King Tut had a very short life. I think King Tut died as a kid.
Yeah.
Tutankhamun.
Why? A lot of them didn't.
Yeah.
They all pass away so young. Luke said, "I'm thinking Marcus Aurelius or Christ."
Oh, so Marcus Aurelius, he's thinking Stoicism.
It's like way.
That's like the father of Stoicism.
What about Joan of Arc then?
Oh, Joan of Arc is a good story.
And she passed young, didn't she?
She did.
But do we know the true age? Like her true age?
No. Oh, I can't think of it off bat.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody said Easy-E. Tupac died young. He died real young. I think he died like what, 24 or something like that?
Yeah, really young. Yeah, Luke said Joan of Arc is a good one. I don't know. Let's see. When did he pass?
You can't come up with nothing, huh?
In 96.
Nah.
He's not here right now.
You're
with
not here
us
right now. Where'd you go?
At all.
I'm here.
No, you look like you're lost in the sauce.
Yeah,
I'm just here.
Yeah.
That's it. You're just he's not here. It's a tough day. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. He passed away 25.
Who?
Tupac.
Tupac?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it was young.
Yeah. Jeez, that's
He didn't even have a grasp on
Man.
things, it seemed like.
that's
I mean, he did with his music, but so young. At the age of 25 for myself, I still didn't know what was what.
Sarah said, I was thinking Tupac, but I'm still hoping he pops back in someday.
There is a lot of Tupac sightings out there.
Yeah, I don't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, Tupac is like Bigfoot. Everybody swears they see him.
Mm-hmm. I think that's still going on today. Like people still say I seen Tupac. He's old as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Colombia.
No, you didn't. Well, should we not drag this out anymore and just call it a day?
Yeah, it's just been a weird one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's early too. Shit.
Yeah, it's all right. We don't always have to stay on.
No.
Half of y'all aren't even here. Mentally.
Mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried today. At least we got something done, I suppose.
I mean, I'm here, you know?
You can feel it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our viewers can feel it too.
Yeah.
And they're watching. It's fine. We'll come back tomorrow
It's
refreshed.
just so fucking strange how things happen on this planet.
Yeah.
And to me, it all feels like design. Like I believe in free will, but in a way, I think a lot of things are designed to happen the way they do, and it's hard for me to disagree with it.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I bear witness to too many things that one would equate to coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she was in the right place at the right time. And it everything I witnessed in my life was the right place at the right time. We seen one of our favorite Costco employees today. on a, what's today, Monday?
Uh-huh.
On a Monday. And she's really never there on a Monday doing a job she never does. She's always the register. But yet she was bagging, which was weird. We saw her in that element, which she just came back from Florida and she dodged the whole hurricane issue. She was there.
Oh, wow. I'm telling you, it's not for us to understand or make sense of it. It's what the universe says it to be.
And throughout the day, I look at the crazy things that no one really probably looks at. But we never take the kids all the way home to their mother's house.
Or take the surface street back.
Or take the surface street. That's the other thing. He was dead set on getting on the highway. I think we were literally halfway on the highway and halfway off. And he was like, you know what? Today, out of all days that we could have took this, let's take the surface street to Costco, because we never took it in the surface streets and we like to know where we are in case of accidents.
Yeah.
We even said that. In case of an accident and the freeways get locked up, let's take the surface streets. And then we went through Costco gradually. Normally, him and I are in Costco, and you can ask our daughter this. As soon as we hit Costco's door, if you're not a slight jogger, you won't be able to keep up with us because we know where everything is.
Yeah.
And the list you write out is immaculate.
Yeah.
It takes me around the whole joint and we're checking out.
And I do it by aisle.
We stopped to talk to Dakota. I introduced Lamar to Dakota.
Oh, nice. Were your glasses in?
No, it probably won't be there until Friday. Nice. But, you know, we took all these extra measures that we rarely fucking do.
Yeah. You know why?
Because we had to be there.
And you know why? Because the universe said so. I'm
saying. It all, I mean, like I said, I believe in free will, but boy, this was by design.
And you keep saying that, and the universe keeps laughing at your face.
Keeps laughing, and it keeps fucking winking.
Yeah, and it says, oh, you silly little peasant.
And it's like, oh, yeah, you got a plan. Yeah, you got a plan.
Yeah. Let me show you a plan.
Let me show you your plans. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to make the universe laugh? Tell it your plan.
All right. Well, let's play this little bit of music and then get us out of here so we can just kind of store these files away. And
thank y'all for coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was a good day. Good job at Hardware Jams for those that put a jam up.
And just to regroup and come back fresh tomorrow.
Recoup.
Tomorrow we'll be on at 7. Wednesday, we will not be on at 3 p.m. It'll probably be a little bit later. I finally have my back doctor's follow-up appointment after that EMG test that I had, and that's at 3:15. So
we might be on a late Wednesday.
5 p.m. We're shooting for 5 p.m. But I'll update it as soon as I can. As soon as we know when we'll be on for sure.
Yeah.
No. It's just a follow-up appointment for after this test to see what the next step is for my back. Now that we know exactly what's
causing the issue.
What's causing the issue.
We can get you pain-free.
Yes, finally, and not be in pain for 24/7.
And on these fucking drugs 24/7.
Yeah, that's the worst thing out of the pain you can. The pain you can't even deal with when it's at that high of a level. But if it just like dropped down a couple of notches, I can probably deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's just getting off of these dang drugs.
Right.
Like that, you just never want to be on drugs that you have to go pee in a cup every 3 months.
Right. Because they cause fucking issues.
Yeah. And they want to make sure you're not an addict. Like that's not comforting.
But you're making me a fucking addict.
Yeah.
Because you keep me on them.
Yeah. Why don't you fix me so we can get off of all these dope medications?
Like you said, a cured patient is money lost.
Yes. Yes. And they swear on that oath before they give them the diploma.
Yes, they do.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for
showing.
Bearing with the twins today. They had a very, very, very tough day, and Here's to a better day tomorrow. And hey, make this a reminder to hug, kiss, and say I love you to your loved ones.
And there ain't no pity party over here.
No, you just never know when is it going to be the last day that you see them.
Yes.
So
That's the main thing you should take away from this is
don't forget that.
life is precious.
Yep. And see you all tomorrow.
Purple Heart spam for Inky and Steve. Go now.
And the lady from today, hopefully.
And the lady from today, hopefully it's not the woman we know.
No,
but
yes.
nevertheless, it's still sad.
Yes.